Amelia Bedelia, Chapter 8 Two-Bit Shave and a Haircut. The next day was Saturday, the day of the dog show. Amelia Bedelia rode her bike over to Charlie's house. She was excited to help Charlie give Pierre a bath. Charlie, said her mother, since Amelia Bedelia is here to help you, I'm going to run some quick errands. I'll get Pierre's bath ready for you before I go. Soon Pierre was standing in a deep tub full of warm water and suds. Amelia Bedelia and Charlie rolled up their sleeves and scrubbed Pierre in the soapy water. Pierre loved getting shampooed, and Amelia Bedelia and Charlie managed to stay pretty dry until it was time to dry Pierre. Both Amelia Bedelia and Charlie could see it coming. It was like those weather maps on TV that show an approaching hurricane. They were in the storm's path and were going to get soaked. Sure enough, Pierre let them have it. After 1 second of shaking, they were drenched. The only thing they could do was holler and shriek and dance around and laugh a lot. Charlie, yelled Amelia Bedelia, you look like you just ran through 100 sprinklers for an hour. You look like you fell into the world's biggest swimming pool, yelled Charlie. Then, starting with his head and moving down into his rear end, Pierre shook himself one last time, just to be sure they were totally soaked. Still laughing, Amelia Bedelia and Charlie led Pierre out to the back deck. They worked in the sunshine, squirting conditioner into Pierre's coat and rubbing it with their fingers. Let's start brushing him, said Charlie. Fun, said Amelia Bedelia. She grabbed a nearby brush from a dustpan. When she began to brush Pierre with it, Charlie laughed. Not that kind of brush, he said. You'll get him dirty again. Use one of these special dog brushes. Amelia Bedelia loved brushing Pierre. He's going to be beautiful, she said. You mean handsome, said Charlie. Once Pierre's hair was tangled free, Charlie showed Amelia Bedelia how to trim his coat with the electric clippers. Charlie was trimming stray hairs from Pierre's fluffy chest when disaster struck. A squirrel ran across the deck. Pierre took off after him like a shot. He ran right over Charlie, who was still holding the whirring clippers. Charlie hit the deck. No, Pierre, he shouted. Here, wait, come back. If you get dirty, we'll have to take another bath. Pierre was an obedient dog, and besides, the squirrel had already scrambled up a tree. Pierre trotted back to Charlie and sat down again. That's when Amelia Bedelia noticed a long strip of fluffy white fur on the deck. Hey, Charlie, where did this come from? She asked. There was only one place it could have come from Pierre's beautiful prize winning coat. Charlie kneeled in front of Pierre. Oh, he said. It looked as though a lawnmower had cut a swath through a pretty flower bed. Oh boy, said Charlie. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is not good, not good at all. He took the fluffy patch of hair from Amelia Bedelia and tried to push it back into place. It didn't work. We need tape or something, said Amelia Bedelia, or paste, or a glue stick. They tried everything. Nothing worked. Boy, oh boy, said Charlie. I am doomed. Pierre sat patiently. Perhaps he realized that he was partly to blame. But now, as he watched a puff of fur that used to be his beautiful pom pom blow across the deck like a tiny tumbleweed, the situation began to sink into him too. Amelia Bedelia thought if every animal were going to speak, it would be now. Pierre cocked his head and stared directly at them. His eyes said, You've got to be kidding me. I've trusted you to take care of me, and this happens? Woof! Charlie started pacing back and forth across the deck, repeating, Boy, oh boy, and tugging at his own hair. I know, said Amelia Bedelia. Let's look in the kitchen. There's probably something there that would work. They searched through kitchen drawers until Amelia Bedelia found some twisty ties. She headed back to the deck to try them on Pierre, while Charlie kept looking for possible solutions. Charlie, yelled Amelia Bedelia, your problem is gone. Great, Charlie called back. Do the twisty ties work? I don't know, said Amelia Bedelia. Pierre is gone, vanished.